Judge, this was a plea taken by Judge Angelini on an agreed deferred before the court now. I'll get the seven.
All right, the court is calling 2023 CR 7903, State of Texas versus Frank Daniel Torres. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Allie Jackson for the state.
Michael DeLeon for Mr. Torres.
All right, you entered a plea of no contest
That's correct, Your Honor.
in front of Judge Angelini. We're here for sentencing. Have you, counsel, received the PSI report?
I have reviewed it, Your Honor, and we're ready to proceed.
All right. State, have you had a chance to review the PSI report? Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, according to the plea bargaining agreement, state is recommending deferred adjudication. Is
Correct.
there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
I would just notice that the PSI doesn't recommend any type of mental health treatment, any type of drug or alcohol treatment, Your Honor. I know he's had deferreds in the past. He does have a good reason to on this felony deferred to succeed in that he has an 11-month-old daughter now. He's also not working right now, Your Honor, so we're gonna ask the court if we can probate any type of fine or perhaps cut down on the probation fees to the bare minimum. He is actively seeking work and he has a job interview this afternoon.
All right,
Yes, ma'am.
and with regards to the complainant, I don't see in here where there's no contact with Sonia Esparza. Do you know no contact means that you are not to have any contact with her? That means no letters. Do you all have children together?
We do. We have an 11-month-old.
All right, there's to be no Mother's Day card or anything of that nature.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you want to have contact with your child, you will need to do that through a third party. Do you understand?
That's what we've been doing. Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court is going to sentence you to a $1,500 fine. And to the clerk, this is a second degree. Could you let me know what the court costs are? That will be probated. There's to be 5 years deferred adjudication. No contact with Sonia, Sonia Esparza. The BIPP course. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, 100 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. That can be with Rainbows. Once you complete parenting classes, the court will deem your community service hours satisfied. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors.
That's 375.
Thank you. There's to be regular random UAs. And you can have a patch if you so choose. The patch just costs more. Your court costs are approximately $350, maybe $380. Will you be able to pay that in installments?
Yes, ma'am. If given the opportunity, yes, ma'am.
Okay. There's going to be field visits 1 time per month for 3 months. And then thereafter at probation's discretion. Probation, is there anything else you need? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to show you what is entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am. I did.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I do.
All right, we can go off the record. I'm serious about that no contact. Do you understand?
That's not a problem, ma'am.
So if you have contact with her, a violation report is going to be submitted to me. If it's in proper order, it's going to be signed and you will be looking at how much time in prison?
I believe it was 20. You said
20 years.
20. Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. Do not contact her. Do not get together with her for family vacations. None of that. Do you understand?
That's not a problem.
And it appears that you may not be ready for a relationship. Get an orchid. When you get an orchid, they come with blooms on them. Once those blooms fall off and you get it to rebloom, you may be ready for a relationship. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you have an orchid?
Oh, I will never own an orchid, ma'am.
You need
Thank
to get one because you're not good in relationships.
I beg to
This is
differ,
the
yes, ma'am.
second, this is the second offense for choking.
Okay,
That is why it's a second degree felony.
yes, ma'am.
Otherwise, it would be a third degree felony. And if this was the first assault case you had, that was just a regular assault, you would be in misdemeanor court. So obviously, you are not a good person to be in a relationship. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. 2023 CR 7903, State of Texas versus Frank Daniel Torres. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
Zach Dunn for the state.
defense?
Rolando Ruiz for the defense.
And are you Mr. Torres?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right. Mr. Arguelles has been appointed to represent you. Have you had contact with your previous attorney?
One time I did have a video conference with him. It lasted about 2 minutes, ma'am.
All right. And how long ago has that been?
I'd say about a month and a half ago.
All right. And off the record, you asked the court to have another attorney appointed to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And that attorney is Mr. Arguelles. Do you have any objections to Mr. Arguelles representing you?
No, ma'am, none whatsoever.
All right. And Mr. Arguelles, of course, you are entitled to 10 days. Are you waiving that?
We are, Your Honor, in the best interest of my client.
All right, Mr. Torres, did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Are you the same Frank Daniel Torres who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 7903 for the offense of assault, family, choking, strangulation on February 8, 2024 for a term of 5 years? Is that you?
Unfortunately, yes, ma'am, it is.
All right, state.
On or about the 16th day of May, 2024, in Bear County, Texas, the defendant, Frank Daniel Torres, did then and there fail to attend and successfully complete the following counseling education program, state accredited battering intervention and prevention program in violation of condition number 20.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True, ma'am.
State.
The state waives and abandons the others, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 20, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 20?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number 20 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is a proposal, Your Honor, yes.
And what is the proposed agreement?
The proposal, Your Honor, is for revocation and adjudication of guilt for then a term of probation to be 5 years and to continue on the conditions, notably because the complainant across both is the same. So that was the proposal with respect to conditions remaining the same, but this time with a conviction and a permanent finding and to be on straight probation as opposed to deferred.
All right, what I can tell parties, I'm not going to follow that agreement. If you all wish to continue on probation, the part of the agreement I'm not going to follow is the 5 years. So what would you all suggest for an underlining? Are you all suggesting for an underlying sentence with the conviction of 5 years?
Well, we want a term of 5 years of probation, correct, Judge? Unless the court wants to go lower, which we would not be opposed to.
No, I will not go lower.
I think the initial discussion was potentially for a 5/5, so 5 years, probated and suspended for 5 years. But if we need to increase the timeline, I'm happy to talk with counsel now.
All right, if you all can talk about that with the
Sure.
underlying.
Okay,
All right.
yeah, may we just briefly break away?
Yes. Yes.
So with my client really quickly.
Of course, no, please, no rush.
Andrew, and just relieve me for the last case.
Okay. All right, thank you.
We have an agreement, Judge.
All right, and what is the proposed agreement?
The proposal, Your Honor, would be for 8 years for the underlying, and that would be probated.
Correct.
Are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Myself, yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right. This is what the court will do. The court is going to find you guilty. There's to be no contact with the complainant. The court is going to order partial GPS for employment only.
In regards to the no contact, Your Honor, can they have contact through one of the apps because they do have a child together, 14-month-old?
No,
How's he gonna take care of his child?
he's going to have to do that through some sort of, if they have custody arrangements.
That's what I meant, like through the apps that allow for that to happen, that they can have communication.
No, I mean, because, and you all didn't proceed on it, but I'm assuming the reason for this is because there's another allegation. And what is happening? Allegation.
It's newer, Your Honor. It's from May, so I don't have any word from the intake attorney on the status of that case.
All right, and who is the alleged complainant?
Same complainant.
So no, I'm not going to allow that. So there's to be no contact with the complainant. There's GPS partial for employment only, and all other previous conditions are to remain. And I'll ask that GPS fees be waived. And I'm going to sentence you to 8 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 5 years. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. And also because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to your attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. There's no contact. I previously ordered no contact.
Yes, ma'am.
Obviously, it appears that it's not working.
I-
Yeah,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I know that maybe the new allegation, you're saying it's not true, but I don't have any information for that yet, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right, is there
Thank you,
anything
Judge.
else?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing for the defense, sir.
All right, and is the complainant aware?
The complainant is aware of. We'll make them aware of this today. What I mean by aware is they've been in contact with the DA's office, yes.
Okay. All right, awesome.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.